Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello! Today's adventure, my partner and I, we are going up to, of all places in the world, the most exciting place ever. Where are we going?
West Virginia.
That's not a joke. We're going to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Actually, West Virginia is, it's a punchline, but it's actually quite a nice place. Like, for real. But anyway, we've been there before. She's got a friend there. We're going to go hang out with them. And I'm definitely going to hit up some pepperoni rolls. But right now, we're going to, yeah, exactly. Pepperoni rolls are solid. And this is the place that introduced me to Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. Okay, the girlfriend has hit up the standard security line. I'm going to head over to the clear section. I am not willing to stay with her because I'm carrying the Sega Pluto. Plus, I hate the normal section. Call me a jerk if you want, but the clear lane is amazing. And I'm still trying. Clear, if you ever watch my videos, please pay me to sponsor you. I will totally do it. Through security, no real problems on my end. I did get random ID checked, which does happen on clear. It's very rare, but it's usually not a big deal. Just take out the ID, TSA looks at it, and we're good, but 2 seconds. It's great. Anyway, now to wait for the girlfriend to get through the normal ass security, which, by the way, that's the reason people don't like flying, is that normal process. If you get all the good stuff, TSA pre-check, clear, global entry, all those things, trust me when I say the flying experience becomes a lot better. All right, we are now in the United Club Lounge while we wait for our flight, which means free food time. So I'm gonna go see what they've got. Yep, there you go. The pretzel bun sandwiches, those are really good. The wraps are okay. Oh, they got meatballs today. Yeah, they got meatball subs right on, and a soup. I'm all about this. Here we have the spoils. We have the pretzel sandwich, we got cheese cubes, we have a cream of chicken noodle, an espresso, and a meatball sub. So this is the Charleston airport. It is not the biggest one. That's primarily where you enter, at least in this section. Got some cool ads and stuff like that. Baggage claim, ground transportation. Actually, funny enough, not the first time we've been here. And actually not the first time we've been in West Virginia in this show. I was in Clarksburg briefly before. But yeah, ads for this section of the country. Kind of cool. We're going to go over here ultimately. This is Huntington. It doesn't say it there, but it's where these 3 states all meet up. That's where we'll be. There's a rule you need to understand when you're here. You never talk bad about the coal. Never. So at this point in the day, it's a little late. We're going to get some food. This area, but this time of day, nothing. There's really nothing available. So we're gonna resort to something. Bob Evans. I'm going to tell you a little story about Bob Evans, okay? I actually have a Bob Evans story. This happened to my mother in the 1980s. She told me this story about how she had these clients in her work, and they would send her to fly her all sorts of places. She had to do business meetings, whatever. Like the actual meeting, totally uneventful. You know, they went and they talked business. They got it all done. It was no big deal. But she happened to be in Eastern Ohio at the time. And afterwards, they're like, "All right, Susan, you've been great for us. We're going to take you out to dinner. We're going to show you this nice local place. It's awesome." And they get in the car and they're hyping this place up, and they're talking about the menu. They're like, "Oh, you've never seen so many options." And they get there and it's a Bob Evans. And she didn't have the heart to tell them it was a national chain. They didn't know. This is pre-Google. It's the 1980s. The food has arrived. I'm not all that hungry because I ate a lot at the United Club Lounge, but we've got some French fries and their pie. This is the strawberry cream pie. They recommend this, and she got this.
We got breakfast.
Breakfast at dinner time, but nothing wrong with that. And oh, there's was that peach tea?
Yes.
It's pretty good stuff. Go ahead and enjoy.
So we have left the Bob Evans. Super friendly. There was a lot of space in there, which was very nice. The free Wi-Fi, which is great because our hotel doesn't have it, just because it's out of maintenance, whatever. So food was just kind of whatever. It's Bob Evans. It's like a diner. It's like a Denny's, except a little better. But surprise! Yeah, no, I mean, Bob Evans is a chain. I would say quality service and quality experience. Food is just kind of, it's Bob Evans. Good morning. It is day 2. We've just checked out of our hotel. We got to kill a little time before her friend comes and picks us up and we go hang out. We're going to go show you guys some stuff. But before that, we have to go back to Bob Evans. I need coffee, dude. So I decided to get this. This is their blue ribbon candied bacon. I'm trying not to eat much right now. There's a reason for that. You guys will see later, but I had to do this just because I had to. So we're in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is apparently known for that. the Mothman statue. Look at that. It's like a cryptid thing. I don't know a lot of the history of it, but this is apparently like the thing you need to check out. And it's got its own museum complete with gift shop, because every museum is. There's something else you guys need to see. Possibly the most well-defined ass ever put onto a statue. Look at that. So we've arrived at a place called Hillbilly Hot Dogs. So here's the thing. They have one of these things where it's like a gigantic eat our biggest hot dog type of deal. Not normally the type of thing I would do. But a guy in my Discord said he would be willing to trade me a Sega Saturn game, video game console. The Pluto, actually, the thing I've been carrying around from time to time, is a Sega Saturn. There's a very exclusive game, only came out in Europe, very, very expensive game in the price range of $600, and he said he would give it to me if I actually ate this thing, or even very seriously attempted to. Kind of hard to turn that down, so we had a long back and forth, like, are you sure? He says do it, so I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, so I've ordered it. They're near closing. They were still cool. They were gonna make it for me. We'll bring it out here in a bit, and I'm gonna try and eat this thing. There's 0% chance of actually accomplishing this because you have to do it in under 2 minutes. No, if I even get through it, it's gonna take a minute, more than 2. It's here. And you can see, you know, plastic spoons for scale. That really helps out. It is a foot long. It's kind of like eating, or it looks like it's gonna be like a massive Subway sandwich, except probably way better. But it's a hot dog, and I'm gonna die. Sorry, babe. So there's the hot dog. We've got cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, way more stuff underneath. I'm not entirely certain, but here we go.
So far, I think I can do this. Going good. It's actually pretty good, by the way. Just like as an actual food item. That would have been my biggest concern, was if it just tasted like crap. That would have sucked. But so far, so good. Okay, we're about, I think, halfway through. I'm still feeling alright. As you can see, a lot of stuff is scattered onto the plate. I don't know if I, would have had to actually really eat that, or if you just can't not have toppings or something. I don't know, but I'm doing okay. I think I'm alright. I think we can make it mostly. I'm not as confident anymore. Still going, but it's like it's. How do I put this? Like after a while, it's like it's good, but after a while, it's like the same thing, and you kind of get bored of it. That's kind of where I'm at. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just kind of like I'm tired. All right, we're down to the end. I'm just gonna eat this, and we're gonna be done. Apologies to anybody who doesn't like to see people eating or chewing. No problem.
I did it. I don't think I would do it again, but I'm looking forward to the Sega Saturn game. Thank you, Wubio. Huge shout out to a guy in my Discord who forced me to do this under threat of economic prosperity. A little time separated, I actually feel totally fine. The only issue that I really had during that was that the flavor was just kind of, I mean, you eat that much of the same thing, it's gonna get a little boring. That was more the issue. Like, I feel fine. I don't feel full or sick or anything. I feel full, I'm not hungry, but like, you know, I feel good. So I thought I would take a second while we're here to talk about why West Virginia even exists. It's a unique state in that, so if you've ever looked at a map of the U.S., you know, we have a North and South Dakota, you have a North and South Carolina, but we have a Virginia and a West Virginia. There is no East Virginia. And Virginia didn't rename itself East Virginia. Although I joke that little bit of land that's hanging off of Maryland that's part of Virginia should become East Virginia. I just think that would balance it out. But why does it exist? Basically, political tensions during the Civil War. It was the only state created as a result directly of the Civil War. In 1863 specifically, West Virginia seceded from Virginia. All of Virginia, which was the encompassing territory of both states, or what would become both states, was one political entity called Virginia, and it chose to join the Confederacy. However, because it was such a big landmass, and back then Virginia was like one of, if not the most populous states in the Union, that, like anywhere, creates tensions where people disagree on the internal politics and so on and so forth. And so there were enough people on this side, on the western side of the state, where they said, nah, I don't want to join the Confederacy, I want to stay with the Union. And like, that's the super TLDR version of history, but in 1863 the western part of it became West Virginia, and it joined the Union. And eventually, when the war ended, of course, Virginia reintegrated into the Union, but they never really reunified. They had no reason to. They liked being separated. And today, that's why you have West Virginia and Virginia, but no East Virginia. However, Virginia. Give up the little strip thing. Let's turn that into East Virginia. Let's balance the equation. Although I've heard that when they originally, were seceding, they were debating different names, and they had a couple of, ideas, but the best one, because they would have been near Pennsylvania and Kentucky, was to call this place Pennsyltucky. Good morning. It is day 3 here in West Virginia, and we're going where everyone goes for authentic Mexican food, West Virginia. So I just came out of there. Food was okay. Obviously West Virginia, not really big Mexican food thing. So I went for a thing that was kind of, I'm just going to say it, white trashy, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I would apply that to anywhere, because I intentionally went with one where you'd never find it at a Mexican restaurant. Like, this thing had pineapple in it. It was actually pretty good. Authentic, hell no, but not bad. You could do worse. So I'm inside this store here near a flea market. The flea market just had some oddities. It was cool to look at, but I found this. Not only is it rare to see an RC Cola anymore, this is the glass bottle real sugar one. Picking this up. So when I was a kid, we had a babysitter when I was very young, and for some reason, they always had RC in their house. Never saw them ever drink it, but they had 24 packs of it constantly. So I was very familiar with this flavor. But RC is mostly gone now, and like I said, I've never seen a glass bottle real sugar one, so here it goes. It tastes a lot like I remember it, even though it was obviously different because it was high fructose corn syrup. It was pretty good. Yeah, the more you drink it, the more you realize the aftertaste isn't that great, but it's smoothish. It's kind of like a light, like a Diet Coke with honey in it or something. I like it. It's definitely not the best soda, but it's kind of a nostalgia trip. That's really what it is. RC Cola, but this time real sugar glass bottle. Kind of nice. I am now in Ashland, Kentucky. Now, Ashland, Kentucky, I don't know what really you have to offer, but one thing I do know that you have that's a little odd is you have this. An abandoned Blockbuster. This actually I've actually been here before. This used to say Blockbuster on it. Somebody took the sign, the letters off, but the sign there still exists, and the building still exists. The interesting thing about this, doing some research on it, this one went out of business a year before Blockbuster in general basically abandoned shop. So as a result, they didn't have to liquidate assets at this location. And so the building just kind of stayed. It fell into like a little bit of a crack, and no one has acquired the building since. It's just been sitting. Since the last time I was here, I've noticed windows have been broken, posters and things have been stolen, because this had like 2011 movies just sitting on it and like shelving inside. It just was an abandoned Blockbuster. The movies were taken out, but other than that, it was exactly the same way. So it's changed a little bit, but it's still kind of cool to see, because you don't get to see that logo too much these days. Of course, I want to remind everybody, there is still one Blockbuster left. I've actually shown it in an episode on this channel. It's in Bend, Oregon, and on my main channel, I've actually done multiple videos on it inside, so you can still check that out if you ever want to. We are now in Central Park. Not the one you think of in New York. No. Central Park, Ashland, Kentucky. Not quite the Manhattan one, but not a bad park all the same. It's got a koi pond over there with like fountain deal going on, and we have this old like Lincoln style cabin back here, which is pretty cool. This is like, there's like a little museum type of thing I think inside this. We're not going to be doing that, but I just thought you guys would like to see this kind of old 1800s rustic style. I don't know much about this. It just looks like that. I think Abe Lincoln, and I think of this, even though I'm from Illinois. Now, fun fact about Kentucky, this is the place where Kentucky Fried Chicken comes from. I know you guys probably didn't put that one together. Don't eat KFC, like in all seriousness, that stuff's gross. Don't do that. I know I can't say that here. They'll hold me hostage if they hear me saying this. Don't eat KFC. It's gross. Asia, all of Asia, stop eating KFC. Stop it. It's terrible. It's not good stuff. It's time for dinner. So we are here at La Famiglia. Hopefully that's pronounced correctly. For one reason and one reason only. Not so much Italian food, even though this place is highly rated for that, but because they actually, per Google searches anyway, have the best pepperoni roll in the area. Now, pepperoni roll is very much a West Virginia thing, so we're gonna get this one. We're also gonna get a couple of others and try a few different ones and show them to you, but like, you ask anybody from West Virginia, that's the thing. That's the food, is the pepperoni roll. So the irony is, it doesn't seem like they have a traditional pepperoni roll, but this is essentially their version of it. So that's probably why it's the best one, because it looks insane. Pepperoni stromboli sort of pepperoni roll is here. Got our marinara sauce. I guess we'll just be ripping and dipping. So inside, obviously you got pepperoni, you got cheese. This is a much fancier pepperoni roll than the traditional one. But don't worry, I've been told we got to go to a gas station because that's where the real ones are. This may not look like the most impressive thing. but I'm telling you, this is incredible. They're known for pepperoni rolls for a reason. All right, it's dessert time, and what we got is this. This is the s'mores flatbread, wood-fired flatbread topped with Nutella, chocolate, toasted marshmallow, and Italian chocolate drizzle. A little expensive, but I think it's going to be totally worth it. Look at this thing. It smells really good. This is really intense. The top is toasted marshmallows. Tastes like, well, man, it says it's s'mores, and they're right. This is really good. Look at it. It's leaking. It's gonna fall. It's great. So we just left La Famiglia. Really good. That pepperoni roll, even though it was like a fancy formal one, technically considered a stromboli, fantastic. And that dessert thing, unbelievable. I never had anything like that. That was really good. I highly recommend this place if you're ever out in Huntington, West Virginia. Good morning. It is day 4 here in West Virginia. I am wearing a Blockbuster shirt, which I forgot to wear to the actual Blockbuster because I'm an idiot. But anyway, we're here. We're going to do breakfast. This is a place called Oscar's. It was recommended as a nice little local place that does breakfast, burgers, and beers, as it says right there. I think I'm going for breakfast, though, because burgers, I have an idea for later. Here you go. Home fries, turkey hash. I've never seen turkey hash before. Bring it on. Let's get this done. Food has arrived. We've got our potatoes. We've got our 3 eggs sunny side up. And our turkey hash right there. Looks pretty good. Let's enjoy. So that was Oscar's. Wasn't bad. Decent little breakfast spot. I've had better. I've had worse. I would say check it out if your only other options are like fast food type of diners. But yeah, I mean, if you're in the area, not bad. You could do worse. So I'm now in downtown Huntington, West Virginia, which has this nice little, area. It's like a park. It's got the fountain there, but then a whole bunch of shops, Starbucks and everything like that, movie theater, restaurants, all that sort of thing. Nice little area, but I'm going to show you something kind of cool. So where we are currently in West Virginia is known as the tri-state area. Now, that is a very common term in American geography, typically referring to the point in which 3 states meet up. Not always. I think the best known one would be the American East Coast, notably like the New York area, where New Jersey and New York, and to a lesser extent Connecticut, meet up. But there's a whole bunch of states incorporated in there that for some reason are somehow called the tri-state area, even though it's more than 3 states. From where I'm from in Chicago, we kind of refer to the tri-state area as being like Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. But here, this one is probably the most accurate in that it actually is a point in which 3 states meet up. West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky all meet up in a single spot, except that spot, conveniently enough, is in the water. That way it's kind of a clean border. So there is only truly a few spots in the U.S. where the actual land masses meet together. And of course the best known one would be Four Corners, where Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico all meet up, which is ironically not even really where they meet up because they don't. There's the Native American reservation is on that, and I think they figured out eventually that geographically, like with GPS and stuff, it was actually in the wrong spot anyway, so oops. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm going to show you a little bit more of this area. Now, where I'm currently standing on top of this pillar with french fries is in West Virginia, but this is actually the infamous Ohio River, and that side of the river is actually Ohio. Down there, way in the distance, that would basically be Kentucky. All 3 points, like I said, they do meet up, but in the water. A series of bridges will take you from one to the other, and you can kind of see the Ohio sign like there-ish. I'll show you a little footage from on that side, but if it's funny the way these are kind of geographically connected. There's more interesting stuff around here to do on the Kentucky side as well as the West Virginia side. The Ohio side doesn't really have a whole lot going on, except the way they kind of designed it. You basically have to drive over to Ohio, go all the way down there, and then cross back into Kentucky. That's just the best way to do it, and that's how they did it. Interesting because of how state laws work, where certain things are legal in one side and not on the other. For example, marijuana is not legal in West Virginia, at least not completely recreationally, whereas on that side of the river in Ohio it is. So you'll see smoke shops and things like that just right over the border. People just drive over, buy them, and either use them there or bring them back, which that part would be illegal, but they still do it. Yeah, so it's interesting to see. This is just one of those random spots in America where you have 2 states that meet up, and well, technically it's 3 states, and that's what kind of makes it unique. So there's a movie theater up in there, the Marquee or something like that. Hilariously, that's actually where I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters. And down there, Black Sheep is a restaurant. Wasn't bad at all. I don't remember what I had, but I remember it being, relatively decent. Mothman really is a thing in this state. You know, we're just in a random bookstore, and here you go. Here's another one. Here's something you don't see too often. Derrick Rose edition Barbie. Stitch and the Samurai. I'm just looking at this like eventually this is going to be remade into Stitch and the Last Samurai. Sato! Sato! Give me Sato! Wow! Honey, I got it! I got the Tuberman doll! So we're now inside this little market that has, you know, some indie shops, indie restaurants, things like that. There's a cool ice cream place down there. It's similar to the one that was in Milwaukee, if you saw those videos, just nowhere near as big. But yeah, if you have dietary issues, this would be a good spot to go to. Ended up getting 2 scoops. I got one that is campfire s'mores and the other is a very basic cookies and cream, but looking forward to it. Then I noticed they had something that's like their own thing. I missed that, so I might have to actually go back and get another one later. We'll see. Depends on how fat I feel. Yeah, their ice cream was pretty good, so I went back and I did it. That is the grape pineapple ice cream, which apparently, according to them, has been featured in magazines, and it's like their thing. So there you go. So yeah, their ice cream was pretty good. I like the old school homemade ice cream, as it were. As for their grape pineapple one, I liked it, but I don't think a lot of people would. It tasted like grape Kool-Aid with pineapple chunks in it. If that sounds appealing to you, good. If not, maybe don't do it. But I liked it.
So it has been recommended to me that I need to get the kind of what you would call cheaper pepperoni rolls. Roger and Mazza's specifically is the brand to get. This is the standard one, and this is the hot pepper cheese one. I'm gonna get one of each.
Okay, we're starting here with the hot pepper pepperoni roll. I've been told it's best not necessarily to microwave it. It's an option, but most people seem to prefer them cold. Alas, no Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce this time. I have not been able to find it, but I don't think it's actually going to need it. Inside you can see it's just caked with pepperoni. It's a tasty little bastard. All right, so I finished the first one. Pretty good, spicier, that's the whole point. It's got like, you know, it's obviously what these are is a bread loaf with like cheese and pepperonis all kind of baked throughout, but they're really pretty good. They sit in like the oils and the juice, if you will, of the cheese and the pepperoni, and it adds a lot of flavor. They're very good. But now we're gonna have the more traditional standard one. I will say the thing we had last night, not surprisingly, was better, but that's like the gourmet edition. For something you get at a gas station, hell yes.
Good morning, it is day 5, and today we got to go get some food. So I've decided to go back to a place that I went to previously a few years ago when I was here, Christopher's. And as you can see, it's got, you know, looks like a nice place. It's got the state map like outlined on it. I've been here before. They had a really good burgers. That's mostly what this place is. But they also do a bison burger. I like bison. You don't see it that much. For those who don't know, bison, you know, buffalo. You can actually eat that in the U.S. You will find it at various places. It's becoming more common, but even so, there's not a whole lot of places that do it super well. I remember these guys doing it really well, so that's what I'm all about today.
Okay, so we have our bison burger with cheese on it. It's got onions, tomatoes, lettuce, and our smoked Gouda mac and cheese. Let's go.
So in the end, did it live up to the hype? It was all right. You know, my burger was good. I kind of remember it being better than that. And I had Gouda mac and cheese, smoked Gouda mac and cheese, because the first place I was ever introduced to that at was actually in a place called the Banks Ale House in Fairbanks, Alaska. It blew my mind there. Here, it was just kind of food. In general, if you're in this area, this is a good place. But it's also not something where I would be like, you have to go out of your way to visit this place. But if you're in the area, it's a quality meal. So as we I walk back here to the hotel, Quality Days Inn, I kind of wanted to comment on something because I was just informed of it, and something I would have absolutely loved to have shown you guys to kind of round out the video. Turns out there's a Bob Evans museum, and it's only like 40 miles away. Unfortunately, can't take you there because I don't have a car. So that would have been a nice way, I think, just to end this whole thing. But perhaps we can be happy and sufficient in the knowledge that, yes, there really is a Bob Evans museum.
For dinner tonight, we are at a place called Truckin' Cheesy, which I'm told is a type of place that uses entire grilled cheese sandwiches as the loaf of bread. Much excited. I'm not gonna lie, I'm overwhelmed by choice. I mean, look at this. You can get a donut as a bun. That's just the sandwiches. Then there's burgers everywhere. This is gonna take some time.
Okay, so I'm still pretty full from this morning having that Bison burger, so I can only fit a normal burger in here. We're gonna get it without the pickle, and I think just to make it crazy so we're doing something special here, we're gonna go with the donut buns. It's gonna happen. Another time maybe we'll come back here and do something like that, where you have like entire grilled cheese as the buns, but right now, I'm feeling this. The burger has arrived. There it is on the donuts. Unfortunately, it also came with what is clearly not food, so let's just get rid of that. And now the actual food is here. Obesity, why not?
So the cool thing about this is the donut really is hot and it's burning my fingers, but it's compressing into a nice little bun, so it's a great sweet balance with the meat. I know it may not seem like the most appealing concept. This is really good.
Got a little to-go bundle here. Yeah, that's right. Mac and cheese bites. Need to get fatter. That's the goal.
So I've got these macaroni and cheese balls. I've dipped them in what appears to be some sort of cheese sauce. I will bite into this and burn my tongue. It's very hot. It's burning my fingers, actually. You guys, the sacrifice I am making for you.
This place was great. Highly recommend it. You'll die of the beaties for sure, but man, what a way to go. Good morning. It is day 6 here in Huntington, West Virginia. As you can see the flag back there. So this morning, I'm gonna head over to a place called Sheetz. Sheetz is kind of like, if you're on the East Coast, it's like a Wawa or a Quick Trip or one of those type of places where it's like a gas station and a convenience store kind of all together. But the reason we're doing this is because Sheetz actually has, not only do they have pretty good pepperoni rolls, but they also have Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. So I had to do that because today's also the last day we're gonna be here. So I gotta get that before we head on to the airport. If you like peanut butter cups, like Reese's peanut butter cups, these Boyer ones, this is butterscotch, this is a regular one. You really only ever see these in the southern states. They're very good though. Look at that, you ever see a key lime pie M&M? Now you have. What? Look at this Jell-O candy pudding cups. All right, the new hot pepperoni roll is here with the Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. I've had this before. This is a wonderful combination. Absolutely highly recommend it. Okay, so the Sheetz pepperoni roll was good. I think the best one though, by far, La Famiglia. That one was incredible. That makes sense. It's more of a gourmet version of it. But I will say this, Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce, don't sleep on that stuff. That stuff is great. What would really be great is to get the pepperoni roll from La Famiglia and try it with the Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce. We have returned to CRW Yeager Airport, Charleston. CRW, the way I started remembering the airport code for this one is Chris Ruth's. What? I don't know why I thought that, but it totally worked. I remembered it. Anyway, now it's time to go home. Not super surprising, but there's no clear lane here. No big deal. It's a type of airport where TSA pre-check will definitely suffice. Through security, no problems at all. Got my big Sasquatch friend here. Unfortunately, he can't come with me back to Chicago. And with that, the trip to West Virginia is completed, along with technically Kentucky and Ohio. Fun little time if you're ever out in that part of the country. Hopefully this video helped you out to see some options for things you can check out while you're there. If you guys could do me a favor, please like, comment, subscribe down below, as well as hit up all the social media stuff in the description, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, etc. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.